That's what the noise is. Old relic of a 3D printer. Let's get into the fun stuff. I am super pleased with the way the new Cerakote operations came out on the Flux body pens. So these are the ones I'm working on right now. Actually, these are finished. They're up on the site for sale. I think this one's already sold, so don't get too attached to it, but I really enjoyed the way the patina came out on this. Anyways, normally I would not touch these pens with my bare hands because you have skin oils, and skin oils will react with the brass and they'll cause a patina. This one's been heavily patinaed, so it wouldn't really matter, but this one's also been Cerakoted, as have all the other ones. Basically what that is just a very hard-wearing ceramic powder coat, if you will, but it's perfectly clear. And I bought the matte version because I like the matte finish on these pens, and it came out so much better than I would have thought. It gives the pens a really pleasant texture. It covers all this like super hard patina, which is kind of like it's so aggressively eaten into the pen that it changes the surface, but with the new coating on it, it just it makes it quite nice. So I'm very, very pleased with the way those turned out. And they're probably just going to be the new standard going forward for that particular style of pen because I like it so much. And I'm finally happy that I got a process that works. Explaining that process. I had to get out of my office for a minute. It's like 30 degrees Celsius in there, or 90 degrees Fahrenheit for you anarchists. I'm printing in ABS, and I decided just to heat the whole room up just to see if it would help with some delaminating issues. Anyways, besides the point. This is a toaster oven. Nothing fancy. A ton of people use it for powder coating and all kinds of weird stuff. I'm using it to cure the Cerakote on my pens. It's a little bit different than your standard toaster oven because it has this weird thing beside it. And this is my old float tank controller that I built. It's just an Arduino, a screen, and a solid state relay. And basically I've just put some fairly basic code in here that lets me set a temperature, a time duration, and it just holds the temperature at that value. Nowadays it's cheap enough just to buy like PID controllers and slap it all on, but I had this floating around and it literally took me, I think, 2 hours start to finish, which is longer than you would think, but things always take longer than you think. Anyways, so it works quite good. There's a thermocouple in the back of this oven, and there's this weird rack system here, and the thermocouple is at the same height of the pens, and it just monitors the temperature and keeps it as such. These are wooden skewers jammed into an aluminum block. Actually, that's an old display stand I had used for pens. I was going to put like titanium rods in there or aluminum rods. Actually, I didn't have any aluminum. I had titanium, so I was going to use that. But no point because the temperature I'm curing it at is far lower than the combustion point of wood. I'll probably put aluminum in there at some point, but the bamboo skewers, which is what those are, don't scratch the pens. If I get Cerakote on them, I can replace them. And I had them, which seems to work out. So not the most fancy solution. And I'm eventually going to get a bigger powder coating oven and run kind of the same system. But yeah, works out well. It doesn't always have to be the most elegant solution, but I'm super impressed with the way it's turning stuff out. Because the last time I tried this game, I just ended up with black pens, and this time they came out perfect. So very happy with that. It's also a very pretty area of my house. So here we are in my garage. As you can see, it's slowly getting cleared out. We're getting near it. We're getting near the end now. This is my little airbrushing studio that I made. Airbrushing studio, that sounds so fancy. It's a foam box that I used for airbrushing the Cerakote on the pens. Nothing fancy, like I said, made out of foam core. 10 by 20 furnace filter, and then a high flow fan in the back, basically to create some negative air pressure. So it just pulls air through it. The reason I did that is basically just to get rid of the buffeting, the swirling when you're airbrushing. So it's nice just to have everything going one way. You don't get dry spots or like weird textures and whatnot. This filter isn't really doing much for cleaning the air. I still wear a full respirator for that. But eventually I'm going to build a better, bigger version of this and then plumb it into my carbon air scrubber or my carbon filter, because that will actually help take some of the nastiness out of the air. I'll still wear a mask, obviously, but yeah, I'm actually very impressed with how this turned out. This is the current state of the garage. It's looking better, much cleaner, easier to now mud the ceiling with everything out of the way. So just going to be foam filling the pad next, finishing the walls obviously, and then electrical, and then furnace, and then it's finished. The heat in here is greatly helping with the ABS print I have going, so I'll just deal with the heat right now. Eventually I'll find build an enclosure for it, but what we're doing. So these are a bunch of ultrasonic cleaning racks that I was printing last week. These are printed in ABS. Someone had mentioned in the video last week to print these in ABS. I don't have any ABS filament, or so I thought. I don't have any 1.75 millimeter ABS, and that's what I print on my big printer, and my big printer gets used 99% of the time. I do have my old Thingomatic, and I have a lot of ABS for that, and a lot of sealed ABS too, so it's still perfectly good. And I just recently bought some because companies are basically blowing out 3mm because no one uses it anymore. So anyways, I have a boatload of it, and I decided to try printing this rack. I didn't think it would do it, and 10-year-old printer, I am incredibly happy with the results. So these seem to be working well. I ran them through 2 or 3 cycles so far in the ultrasonic. There's no warping, so this might be the solution. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the resin ones hold up as well. Resin ones are a little bit nicer than these, but these function just fine. So, especially on that relic of a machine, I'm very, very happy how well it still works. It's quite incredible. The other use I have for all that ABS and why it's hot in here and why I'm printing right now is this one's a terrible example, but this is those little storage boxes, and I have to print literally hundreds of these. So I've done maybe like 50 or 60 of them in PETG, which turns out really well. But once again, just trying to use up all that filament. I did a test one in ABS, and this one you can see it's starting. It was splitting and delaminating, so that's why we're running a test right now with it so hot in here, so I can see if that works. Because if that works, I'm just gonna put it in a box and just let it print for days and days and days and days and get me all my boxes, so I can have nice storage in the big shop, and then I don't have to worry about it. So that's why it's hot in here, and that's why I'm printing. So that's the gist of this week. I'm actually going to look at a piece of larger equipment later this week, which will be in next week's video. I have a bunch more fluxes basically in the stages waiting for polish and final finishing. These are the dragon scale grips. So I have a couple. See, they have the normal length. It's the first one I started with, and I made an extended one just because, I don't know, it looked cool, so maybe more would look cooler. And I'm pretty happy with the way those turned out. Like I said, these ones will be black and brass, and then the ones that are going to get the heavy Subnautic patina, those will take about another week or so, because just that process takes a decent amount of time. But I'm very happy with those. And then they'll get Cerakoted as well, because it's my new favorite thing. That is all I have to report to you today. I hope you people are doing absolutely wonderful out in the world of craziness, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. I almost completely forgot. I remember how jazzed I was to get to 1,000 subs on YouTube, and now I've done the same on Instagram, and since you've watched this long, you get to get roped into this fun. We're gonna give something away. We're gonna give away a pen. Specifically, we're gonna give away one of these Subnautic pens. I recently had pictures, a project to do basically that included a larger flat for a custom name. Normally I don't do custom names. This was a graduation gift. Anyways, I made an exception. I made 2 of them because I thought the first one I would mess up. I didn't. I nailed it. So I have an extra one now. So how this is going to work is I'm going to do it as I normally would do a pen, put the EDC flux serial number, whatever one it ends up being. But on the back side where the long flat is, I'm going to give you X amount of characters, 30 characters, something like that, 20 characters, somewhere in that range. And you can write whatever you want on it, and I'll engrave into it, and then I'll package it all up and I'll ship it to you all for free. I don't know how we're going to make this contest work yet. Details will definitely be on my Instagram, because that's where the people subscribe to me, so I reward those folks. But you too, because you're still here. I don't know how it's going to go yet. It's definitely not going to be like a like, share, subscribe kind of baloney, because no one's got time for that. It'd be something simple, like give me a thumbs up in the comments and you're entered to win. So, details will be over there. We'll try to do it like a week from today. I'll have details coming out. But anyways, you watch this long, that's what you get to know. Yay! See you next week. Bye.